My beloved child, pause. Do you feel that tremor beneath your heart? It is heaven itself stirring, for the moment I ordained before time begins to break through the veil. If you turn away now, you will miss the divine waves sweeping into your life, a once-in-eternity shift that will shatter every limit and awaken every dream I planted in your soul. Will you stay and see what I have prepared, or let this Kairos moment slip into the silence? The door is opening, and your destiny stands on the other side. I have seen every time you brushed aside disappointment just to take one more step. I have witnessed each day you guarded your heart from bitterness, from the temptation to give up, from the deceitful voices whispering that I had forsaken you. But no, never did I turn my face away. On the contrary, I have walked with you through every quiet, unnoticed step. Now, the hour you've been waiting for, the time I ordained before the foundations of the world, is slowly unfolding before your eyes, like the brilliant light rising from a new horizon. After a long and shadowed night, all of creation is moving in harmony with the blueprint I have written for you. The universe is not just a vast concept, but a sacred order I have established, preparing to open wide the gates to an unprecedented blessing. Not something merely sufficient, but a provision far beyond what you have ever dared to dream. It will be a breakthrough, a great leap forward that will draw you nearer to the deepest desires of your heart. Desires that I myself planted within you like seeds from the very beginning. Now those seeds are beginning to sprout. I see clearly the unseen efforts you have poured out. I know the sacrifices hidden from all others. I have heard the whispered prayers in the quiet hours of the night when others had fallen asleep, but you remained, tending the flame of faith. Your faithfulness, though not loud, has echoed to my throne like a sacred melody, a hymn saturated with steadfastness. It is this very offering that has paved the way for the divine shift you are about to enter. O child, this transformation is not a mere surface change. This is the movement of heaven itself toward you. It will not arrive like a passing breeze, but like rain pouring down upon a parched field that has waded through the long and searing drought. This shift will take you from a place of limitation into a place of great abundance. It will not only surprise you, it will awaken even those who once believed you had been forgotten. This moment is not a fleeting miracle that comes and goes. It is a turning point in your spiritual journey, where your faith is no longer just a silent hope in the night, but a radiant torch that will light the path for weary souls. Through you, I will shine forth the light of my faithfulness. You will be a witness to a world aching for what is true, what is good, what endures. You will be living proof that the faithful are never forsaken. I desire that you receive this moment, not only with joy, but with deep spiritual readiness. Now is the time for you to open your heart wide like a field prepared for a great harvest. This is the time to strengthen your inner being, to anchor your faith, and to keep walking in the guidance of my spirit. For when the door opens, I will not only place a gift in your hands, I will invite you into a greater mission. The miracle is not only what you receive, but what you are called to carry, to nurture, and to multiply. My child, take a deep breath and feel the atmosphere shifting around you. It is the heartbeat of heaven aligning with your every step. Know that every promise I have ever spoken is steadily becoming reality. Stand up with strength and humility, and do not be afraid of the greatness that is about to unfold. For I, the one who began this work in you, will be the one to bring it to perfect completion. Above all, remain in my presence. Keep your soul attuned to me. Do not get swept away by the noise of the world, and do not let the wonder of the miraculous drown out the whisper of my voice within you. For it is only when you are in me that miracles become life itself. not just isolated events, but a continuous process of transformation, unfolding day by day, hour by hour. The moment has come. The bell of a new chapter is ringing. Doors long shut are beginning to tremble. Ancient walls are crumbling under my power. And you, the faithful one, my beloved, the one who chose to believe when belief made no logical sense. You are the one who will walk into all that has been prepared, not because you are worthy by your own merit, but because my love never changes, and because you have placed your trust in the one who is forever faithful. Prepare yourself. Stretch like a warrior rising from a long slumber. Stand tall like one whose name is about to be called. For heaven is stirring, the earth is trembling, and your transformation, your great transformation, is beginning right now, right where you stand. And I, your Father, am the one leading you through each step of glory. My beloved child, open your spirit wide to perceive the sacred shifts taking place all around you. If you quiet your heart, you will sense the signs becoming more and more evident, not only in your circumstances, but in the innermost stirrings of your soul. There is a shift happening, a new current is rising, not by chance, not by coincidence, but as a powerful echo from eternity itself, a divine confirmation that a moment of destiny is approaching like never before. Can you see it? Every piece is falling silently into place. What once appeared random is now revealing a perfect orchestration. Relationships, doors, and opportunities are all beginning to align, not because you forced them to, not by your own striving, but because I, the living God, am bringing to fulfillment the sacred plan destined for your life since the foundation of the world. A plan no one else can replicate and no force can disrupt. Know this. You are not standing in an ordinary moment. You are standing at the threshold between the old and the new. The doorway before you is not just a step forward, it is the turning point that will shape the course of your entire life. It is a sacred moment in which destiny is unfolding, where the seeds I planted in you long ago are beginning to break through the surface and rise in strength. Prepare your heart not merely to receive a temporary reward, but to embrace a profound transformation, one strong enough to shift the direction of your whole life. The old limitations are beginning to fracture. The walls that once confined you are being dismantled piece by piece, and the dreams that have long slumbered within you are awakening under the light of a new era, an era of manifestation, of fulfillment, and of total restoration. I am not late, I am not absent, and I do not speak in vain. What I have destined for you is now emerging from the unseen realm into tangible reality. That which you once could only imagine by faith will begin to unfold before your very eyes, within reach of your very hands. And when it does, you will understand that every moment of waiting carried purpose. Every second you held firm in trust has laid the unshakable foundation for something far greater than you anticipated. You have sown in tears, but now you will reap in awe and gladness. I do not let your faithfulness go unrewarded. What I give not only fulfills, it surpasses. What you are about to receive is not merely what you hoped for, but what I have sovereignly ordained, exceeding the boundaries of human thought. You believed you were waiting for a single door to open, but I am preparing to open an entire hallway. You hoped for a small restoration, yet I am breathing new life. You dreamed of sufficiency, but I am leading you into a season of overflow unlike anything you've known. This outpouring will not only reshape your outer circumstances, but will reach into the depths of your being, renewing your vision, healing your wounds, and awakening within you a radiant, empowered, anointed version of yourself. So keep your heart steadfast. Remain grounded in prayer, because when the waves of heaven begin to surge upon your life, the first thing tested will be your resolve. The greater the breakthrough, the louder the temptation to doubt. But never forget, I am the one who brought you here, and I will not leave you alone. I go before you to prepare the path, and I remain behind you as your guard. I am the one who holds your hand through every transition and wipes away your tears in every moment of wonder. My beloved, do not be afraid when your heart quivers beneath the weight of what is coming. This is not chaos. It is the sound of divine shifting. Old layers must tremble and fall away to make room for the new. Outdated structures must collapse so that a new foundation can be established. Trust that every shaking is not meant to break you, but to clear the way for a deeper life, a higher calling, and a greater blessing. Keep your gaze fixed on me. Do not let your heart be pulled away by the noise around you, for you are standing at the threshold of a new chapter, a chapter written by my hand, soaked in love and grace, with every word etched in my faithfulness. When you step into it, you will recognize that not one moment of your past was wasted. Everything has been leading to this radiant unveiling. So pause here in this moment and allow me to whisper a truth that does not change. All things unfolding in your life, whether or not you understand them, whether they seem chaotic through earthly eyes, are in fact being orchestrated with perfect precision in the unseen realm. Every breath, every shift is moving in alignment for your lasting good and for my glory revealed through you. I know there have been moments when your heart felt that reality contradicted my promises. Times when you asked, why the delay? Why are all the doors closed? But my child, do not let doubt wear down your heart. Do not let the waiting cause your soul to retreat. Even in the silence that seems still, I have been working, preparing, turning heaven itself to align the perfect outcome, not only in perfect timing, but with goodness that exceeds all you have ever dared to imagine. This is not the time for you to retreat or fall into doubt. This is the moment for you to open your heart, not partially but completely. Open both your mind and your spirit, like wide doors at dawn, welcoming the first rays of light. Let your soul become like ready soil, not hardened by disappointment, but softened by faith, refreshed by the expectation of the miraculous. Because that miracle, my child, is beginning to unfold, not with noise, not with fanfare, but with certainty and unstoppable grace. Like the first beams of light piercing through thick clouds, like a flower bud slowly opening after a long winter. The manifestation of the prayers you once whispered, of dreams you thought had fallen asleep, is now beginning to emerge before your eyes. If you would pause, listen with spiritual ears, see with eyes of faith, you would recognize the signs. Small doors beginning to open, gentle answers beginning to echo. And I say to you with unwavering certainty, prepare yourself, not just for a small blessing, but for all the goodness flowing toward you like a waterfall cascading from the heights of heaven onto a thirsty land. This blessing does not arrive alone. It comes as a wave, bringing healing, restoration, encouragement, and even a fresh commission for the journey ahead. It is coming not only to satisfy you in the present, but to reshape your future in a way only I can orchestrate. So stretch out your arms, open your spirit, and speak to yourself in faith. I am ready to receive the goodness that is coming. For indeed, all of heaven has heard your voice. The silent prayers, the sleepless nights, the moments that felt lonely, none of it has been forgotten. Every cry of your heart has reached my throne. Every tear that fell to the ground became a seed gathered by me. And now the time of harvest has come. The universe does not move blindly. Every motion abides by the divine order I have set in place. And within that sacred order, your voice, though it may have seemed small, has echoed, amplified, and been received with boundless love and attention. Now is the time for you to step out of the season of waiting and into the season of reaping. This is the moment I answer you, not only with a word but with my presence, not just with a sign, but with a full visitation. Can you feel the shift in the atmosphere? You may not yet see it with your natural eyes, but your soul has begun to perceive it. It is the agreement of heaven. It is the movement of grace. It is the way being prepared by the courts of glory. You are being positioned at the right time and in the right place to receive what I have long prepared for you. Nothing is delayed. Nothing is lost. Every moment of your faithfulness will be rewarded with the fullness of what I have promised. So do not doubt any longer. Do not shrink back into the shell of past disappointments. Do not let the memory of delay steal the beauty of this moment. Instead, rise up, look forward with expectation. Let your heart become like an empty vessel ready to be filled. Do not fear greatness, for I, the one who fashioned the stars, am the very one guiding each of your steps. I never place upon you more than you can bear, but I always lead you beyond the limits you once believed to find you. My child, this is the invitation. Believe, receive, open your heart and prepare yourself. It is not that the miracle will come, it is already coming. It is not that the promise will be remembered, it is being fulfilled. You no longer need to plead, you only need to receive, like the child returning home and being embraced by the Father. That is what awaits you just ahead. No more distance, no more delay, only encounter, only fulfillment, and a love that never changes. I am drawing near. I am making all things new. And you, the one I love, the one I have called by name in love, will no longer have to wait in weariness. This is your hour. This is the triumphal song. This is the season of glory. And I, the faithful one, am the one who will complete every good work I have begun in you. Be ready, for goodness is knocking at your door. And once your heart is open, the wonder will not merely arrive, it will dwell within your life forever. My beloved child, when the miracle I have prepared specifically for you begins to pour into your life, you will see that it is not merely a shift in the visible, not just an open door or a clearly answered prayer. No, my child, what I am doing is deeper, stronger than that. The miracle you are about to enter will carry with it a fresh wind, gentle, refreshing, yet filled with power, blowing straight into the innermost parts of your soul. It is the breath of resurrection from me, your Creator, reviving the parts of you that have grown weary, cold, or buried under the weight of worries, wounds, and prolonged seasons of waiting. I am not just changing the circumstances around you, I am renewing you from within. Clarity will come like the brilliant dawn after a long, dark night, dissolving every cloud of doubt, illuminating each step you are about to take, and awakening in you a new vision, no longer bound by fear or memories of failure. I will place within your heart a peace that the world cannot give and therefore cannot take away. A calm that is not conditional, not shaken by circumstance. It is a peace that allows your heart, even in the midst of the world's motion, to beat in quiet rhythm because you know, deep and undoubted, that you are in my powerful hands. Beyond that, you will experience a joy that does not shout but flows gently into every corner of your soul. A pure delight saturated in gratitude, like an unceasing spring gushing through the desert of your heart. It is not fleeting happiness, but enduring joy, born from the knowing that my word is true, that the promises I once spoke through the mouths of prophets, the words you have treasured in silence, the verses you whispered again and again in the darkness, now all have become clear evidence that I am faithful. I do not forget what I have promised, and I always complete what I have spoken. When this happens, you will understand that the miracle is not merely what you receive, it is how I enter your life, deeper, closer, clearer. It is how I show you that I have never taken my eyes off you, not for a single moment, never forgotten you, never tired of preparing the very best for you, even when you could not feel it. my very presence, expressed through the miracle, through clarity of mind, through overflowing joy and peace, will be the strength that enables you to continue the journey I have begun. You will no longer walk in exhaustion, no longer wrestle between right and wrong, no longer fear whether you are enough, because you will know I am walking with you and I have already given you everything you need to complete the road ahead. This transformation, my child, is not the end. It is the stepping stone to something even greater. The miracle is not a finish line. It is a sign that you are walking in the right direction. Now, as you begin to see this, as you sense new life flowing in, as you taste my love deeper than ever before, do one simple yet powerful thing. Write it down. Write down what you believe. Write down what you have seen and felt. Write down what you are hoping for. Write, not so that I may remember, for I never forget, but so that these truths may be etched deep within your own heart. When you write, you are declaring. When you write, you are shaping life with your words. When you write, you are partnering with me to bring the unseen into being. Write these words. I believe you are faithful. I receive the fresh wind that is blowing into my soul. I welcome the miracle unfolding before my eyes. I embrace the peace, the clarity, and the heavenly joy. I am ready to step into the next journey with steadfast faith and an open heart. I know that everything happening now is working for my eternal good. I trust in the Father's plan. Write as though you are speaking directly to me. Write as a child sitting at their father's feet, recounting every wonder, offering up every desire. And then, when you return to these words on days when your faith feels worn and fragile, they will remind you, I have moved, I am moving, and I will continue to move. My beloved child, the time has come when you no longer have to simply look on with longing, because now you are stepping into the land of fulfillment. Gone are the days of vague dreams and whispered prayers. No more waiting in trembling hope. This moment, my child, is the beginning of the unfolding of the dreams you once quietly carried, the desires that once burned deep in your heart, the things you thought were far off, all beginning to take shape. No longer mere hopes, but sacred promises sealed by me. You have been faithful when no one was watching. You did not give up, even when everything around you gave you permission to let go. You kept sowing, not just through actions, but through quiet sacrifices, through silent prayers, through a faith not loud or showy, but as steady and deep as roots, holding firm in the frozen winter soil. And it is this that has carved the path for blessings to come pouring in. Now, the heavens are being opened in response to that faithfulness. I am not one who makes empty promises. I do not let anyone's labor fall to the ground in vain. Every seed you planted in tears and endurance, in unwavering trust, will now bear fruit in a glorious way beyond what you ever dared to imagine. For when I move, I do not move in small measures. When I answer, my answers are always full and overflowing. In the months to come, my child, open your heart to receive the positive shifts arriving like a fresh breeze after a long stillness. Prepare for a series of divine turnarounds, unexpected opportunities, surprising invitations, doors once thought forever shut suddenly flinging open as if an invisible force is ushering you forward. But hear this, it is not chance, it is not luck, it is the sacred time. Kairos, heaven's appointed moment set apart for you. You may look back and gasp, this is unbelievable. But I want you to know, this is not too good to be true. This is good because it is true. For I am the one who does exceedingly abundantly above all that you could ever ask or imagine. What is coming will not only satisfy your heart, it will overwhelm you to tears. You will see and know, I was always there. I always listened, I always prepared the very best for you, even when you had no idea. And do you know, my child, The change that is coming will not confuse you, nor will it cause you fear, for I have already prepared your heart in advance. Every trial you've overcome was a layer of training. Every time you chose to keep walking instead of giving up was a step in preparation for this new season. Now you are not only receiving the blessing, but you have grown enough to carry it with wisdom. You will not lose it. You will not trade it away, because I have taught you the value of waiting, the meaning of perseverance. Trust the journey. Believe that every step carries purpose, that not a single moment has been wasted. What you are about to witness is the fruit of a sacred process, one in which I refined you, guided you, and walked you through stages that seemed ordinary, yet were profoundly divine. In this new season, be ready to step out of the familiar. Do not let the old things confine your vision. Do not shrink your faith because of past wounds. Open your spiritual eyes, widen your perspective, and expand your heart to believe this truth. Every good thing is moving toward you. Do not doubt when the blessings pour in, for you have sown, and this is your season of harvest. I invite you to live not only in material abundance, but in spiritual peace, in the holy assurance that you are on the right path, living in alignment with divine purpose. You will no longer feel lost. You will no longer question, am I doing this right? For the very miracles that unfold will be heaven's confirmation. You are in the right place at the right time, walking in the right plan. Take time each day to give thanks, not only for what you are about to receive, but for the unwavering love I have always had for you. Write down what you are waiting for. Pray as though you've already received it. Act like one who has been anointed for a great harvest. Live like someone preparing to step onto a stage of glory, because that is exactly where your feet are being led. And if there are moments when the intensity of this shift overwhelms you or leaves you unsure, return to my presence. I am always here, not only to provide what you need, but to walk beside you, speak with you, comfort you, and remind you, you are not alone. You never were, and you never will be. My beloved child, when your heart begins to tremble from the long wait, when your physical eyes see no sign of change, when the prayers whispered in secret seem unanswered, those are the moments when you must hold most tightly to the greatest treasure you have, your faith. Do not let go of that faith, even when everything around you makes you feel weary or uncertain. Let your faith remain unshaken by the delays of the visible world, for in the spiritual realm where I am moving, everything is shifting with a speed beyond your comprehension. Every prayer you have ever spoken, every tear you have ever wiped away in silence, every time you chose to stand firm when your soul wanted to collapse, it all has meaning. They are the sacred seeds you planted in spiritual soil, and now they are beginning to sprout in my light. You cannot see the roots growing deep beneath the earth, but that does not mean they are not growing. Likewise, though your eyes have not yet seen the result, in the unseen realm I am breathing life, movement, and light into your dreams. The things you once feared would never happen, the dreams you once thought were too big to come true, are now taking root and beginning to bloom. And when the appointed time comes, they will rise with a force so full of life that nothing will be able to stop them. I know that waiting is not an easy battle. I know there have been nights when you tossed and turned, when you looked up at the sky and quietly asked, "Do you still remember me? Can you hear me?" I was there. I heard every sigh, seemingly small but carrying the weight of an entire ocean of longing. I saw every tear that fell in silence, unnoticed by anyone else, and I did not merely watch or listen. I engraved each of those moments into my heart. Nothing in your journey has been overlooked. No sacrifice has gone unseen before me. Perhaps you have doubted because you are human. Perhaps you have felt like letting go because your heart has grown weary. But my beloved child, The beautiful truth is that even in your weakest moments, I never left your side. It was in those very moments when your strength was failing that I came closer to you, to lift you up, to whisper to your spirit, "Do not stop now. Do not retreat. Do not allow what is good and coming to be stolen by the temporary fatigue you feel. You are closer than you realize. The distance between where you are and the turning point ahead is beginning to fade. Not because you are trying harder, but because I am moving more powerfully. The movements of heaven are aligning in your favor. Doors you once thought were sealed shut are beginning to tremble. You may not see it all, but I am rearranging every people, events, timing, and circumstances to fulfill the promise I made to you from the very beginning. And this is what I want you to hold firmly in your heart. Just a little longer, just a bit more perseverance, one more day of courage, one more step of obedience, and you will witness my hand move in ways you never expected. Not according to your predictions, not according to the timeline you thought was best, but in a way only I can bring to pass. Unexpected, miraculous, complete, and marked by the undeniable seal of heaven. Do not let silence make you believe I have forgotten. Do not let the emptiness of the present cause you to lose faith in what is to come. I am the faithful one. What I have begun, I will complete. What I have promised, I will fulfill. Often the very moment you feel most worn and empty is the moment breakthrough draws closest. My precious child, this is not the time to pray less, but to pray more. This is not the time to withhold praise, but to give it freely. Not because everything has been resolved, but because you believe I am working even now to bring it to completion. This is the moment to say louder than ever, I believe in you even when my eyes do not yet see. I walk by faith even when I do not yet feel. I keep moving forward because I know the miracle is near. I see you, not just your outward actions, but the depths of your heart. I see your steadfastness, even when no one else knows how much you're struggling. I see your faith when you pray in the darkness and keep walking without a light to guide your steps. And that, yes, that pleases me, that shakes heaven, that creates the turning point. My beloved one, in this sacred moment, as you quietly open your heart to hear me, I want you to know something deeply important, something that may have been lost in the noise of life and the seemingly endless days of waiting. Your prayers, whether whispered or cried through tears, are reaching the deepest places of my heart. Every time you whisper a prayer, whether in radiant hope or in the loneliness of the darkest night, you are drawing my heart closer to yours. Your prayers are never forgotten, never ignored. On the contrary, they are sacred threads that bind your soul to the living heart of the Creator. I do not listen to you from afar, but as a father who leans close to your heart, holds your trembling hand, and gently whispers, I am here, my child. I hear you clearly. I want you to understand this. When you pray, whether the words are long or brief, whether spoken aloud or carried silently in a sigh, the entire heavens are listening. I am not moved by eloquence or ornate phrases. What touches me is your sincerity, your trust, your willingness to draw near even when you feel weak, weary, or like you have nothing left to give. And my child, here's the miracle. Every time you pray, I not only hear you, you set me into motion. There are moments when you feel nothing shifting. You think you are standing still, but in the spiritual realm, I am moving mountains, displacing boulders, opening doors once sealed shut, and straightening paths that once seemed too crooked to pass. These transformations are happening in stillness, like seeds quietly breaking open in the dark soil, preparing to rise strong and visible tomorrow. Keep walking forward. Do not stop. Do not let the absence of emotion convince you I've gone away. Do not let temporary silence cause you to doubt my eternal presence. Every prayer, even the whisper when all you can say is, "Lord, please help me," is being written into the journal of heaven, and every earnest cry carries eternal power. No word is wasted. No moment is in vain. Every prayer you offer is a seed planted, and the harvest will come, brilliant, abundant, and right on time. So if your heart resonates with what I speak to you today, if you feel the sacred trembling within your spirit, then be bold and say amen. Not as a hollow ritual, but as a deep agreement from your soul, as a declaration. I believe, I align, I walk in what the Father is doing. And my beloved child, let me remind you of a truth you may have forgotten amid the fiercest battles. You never fight alone. Not a single battle you face is fought in isolation. Even if no one understands, even if no hand holds yours in the darkness, even if no one stands beside you on that front line, know this: I am there, always present, always fighting for you, always shielding your soul with strength far beyond what your eyes can see. I am not the one who watches from the sidelines. I am the one who stands in the midst of the battlefield with you. When you fall, I lift you. When you are exhausted, I carry you. When you feel like giving up, I whisper into your spirit, "Rise again, for I am still here." Oh, my beloved, have you ever paused and looked back at all you've endured? Have you ever wondered why you're still standing after all the storms you've weathered? It is because I have never taken my eyes off you. It is I who held you through every step, who stood between you and the abyss, who shielded you even when you didn't know you needed protection. You don't need to be the strongest. You don't need to prove yourself unshakable. You only need to know this: you are not alone. You have me, and not just me, but an entire host of angels surrounding you, fighting relentlessly for life, for the future, and for the glory I have ordained upon your life. Lift up your head, my faithful child. Let my words today calm the raging waves within you. Let my love steady your soul amidst the storm. Let your faith be renewed by this truth: I am still here, I still listen, and I am still moving. My beloved one, as you walk this journey of faith with courage, a path where each step is built upon hope and every heartbeat echoes a sincere prayer, know that in those very moments, the enemy prowls silently, watching your every move, for they know you are closer than ever to fulfillment, to the miracle, to the promise that was set in place from the beginning of time. And so they devise every scheme, every distraction to make you falter, to sow doubt, to draw your gaze away from me, the one who called you and is leading you. They don't always come with fury that is easily recognized. No, my child, sometimes the attacks arrive in soft and familiar forms. A passing thought, maybe I've asked too much, or a faint whisper, if he truly hears, why hasn't anything happened yet? And if you are not watchful, those whispers begin to take root. They grow like weeds in the field of your faith, slowly draining the hope you've so diligently cultivated. Be alert, my child, for not all doubts arise from external things. Often it is the weariness within, the slowness of time, the repeated rejections, or the recurring disappointments that open a door for the enemy to whisper, "The miracle is not for you. You're not enough. You've been forgotten." But oh, my child, shut your ears to those lies. Remember the truth I've etched deep within your soul. You have never been abandoned, never been overlooked, and never been forgotten. The enemy hates your perseverance. They tremble before the light that shines from your faith in me. They shudder when they see you still praying, still worshiping, still hoping, even when the skies remain gray and every door seems closed. That is why they try every tactic to make you question my word, to exhaust you in the waiting, to make you compare your path to another's, to make you believe you've been left behind. Sometimes temptation comes in sweet disguises, an invitation to take a detour, to choose the easier path, the quicker route, the one that requires less faithfulness. But I say to you today, do not trade the eternal for temporary satisfaction. Do not take your eyes off the miracle just because it hasn't appeared in the way you expected. And never forget this: what I am preparing for you cannot be compared to anything the enemy can offer. Oh, my child, the battles waging within you now are not because you're on the wrong path. They're happening because you're on the right one. The shaking, the inner conflicts, the assaults on your mind, these are signs that you're nearing your breakthrough. And the closer you come, the harder the enemy will try to disrupt you. But do not be afraid, for I myself am the one fighting for you. I do not leave you alone on the battlefield. I cover you with my power. I surround you with peace. I send angels to guard you while you sleep and to renew your strength when morning comes. That which the enemy intended to harm you, I will turn for my glory. No scheme of theirs can surpass my protection as long as you remain in me. Take refuge in my word and live by my truth. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. So, my child, do not let your heart be shaken. Do not allow confusion to draw you away from the path of miracles. Remember, faith is not a feeling. Faith is a choice. Every day you choose to believe. Every moment you cling to my word instead of the fleeting facts of circumstance. You drive back the enemy's lies one step further. Continue to declare what I have spoken. Speak boldly that you are chosen, that my promise still stands, that miracles are on the way, that you are a child of the Creator who not only knows you but loves you and is working all things together for your good. Do not let the waiting blur your memory of what I have done before. Do not let the temporary overshadow the eternal. The enemy may tempt you with many forms: doubt, discouragement, busyness, pride, apathy. But if you remain in me, equipped with my word, and keep your heart tender in my presence, every poisoned arrow they launch will fall harmlessly to the ground. You are closer than ever, my faithful one. Keep going, keep believing. Let your faith become the sword that slashes through all darkness. And remember, darkness thrashes most violently just before the dawn. The miracle is approaching. The promise is taking form. I am moving, and you are prevailing. For I am with you, today, tomorrow, and forevermore. My beloved child, in the ceaseless current of time, amid the relentless noise of the world and the pressing demands of modern life, there are moments when your soul grows weary without you even realizing it. The busyness of one day bleeding into the next, the buildup of seemingly small cares quietly piling up in your heart. These have made your steps heavy and at times have dimmed your spiritual eyes from perceiving the guidance of heaven. But today, my beloved, I come to remind you of an ancient path, a door that has always remained open, that sacred space of stillness within your soul where I have always been waiting. It is a place untouched by clocks, by schedules, by the measurements of worldly success. It is the place where you can return at any moment to encounter me, not through intermediaries, not through complicated rituals, but simply through a sincere heart. My angels today are whispering words of encouragement to you. Slow down, child. Lay down the burdens within. Step away from the noise that has drowned out your heart for so long. For it is in the stillness that you can hear what has always been echoing, the whisper of truth, the call of your soul longing to return to its origin, the place to which you truly belong, the place where my love never ceases and my presence is never absent. I know that you often think you must do more, try harder, prove yourself more to be worthy, to be enough. But my child, there are seasons in your journey where the most precious thing you can do is not to act but to remain, not to run but to slow down, not to make noise but to listen to the sacred silence that resides deep within you. It is right there, in the silence, in the space where you're no longer trying to control, that I will speak to you. Not with thunder, not with blinding light, but with a warmth that slips into your soul like morning sunlight filtering through the leaves. And I will remind you, you are not lost, you are not abandoned, and you do not have to fight alone. I have always been there, simply waiting for you to return to listening. Your intuition, my beloved, is not a coincidence. It is a gift, illuminated by my Holy Spirit. When you learn to listen to that whisper, the gentle yet powerful voice within, you are stepping into the wisdom that comes from heaven. You will discern between what is true and what is false. You will sense what is of me and what is a counterfeit from the enemy who tries to imitate me. And most of all, you will find again that unshakable peace, even while the world around you remains in chaos. That peace does not come from everything being perfect. It comes from knowing that even when things are not okay, I am still here, holding you firmly. It comes when you let go of the need to know it all, and instead allow me to guide each step, even the ones through fog, as long as they are taken in trust. My dear one, there is nothing wrong with feeling weary. There is nothing to be ashamed of when you find yourself confused. I do not ask you to be strong all the time, but I long for your return. Return to yourself. Return to me. Return to the calling I placed deep in your soul long ago. The one that stirs you when you hear truth, that calms your heart when you hear my words, that brings tears to your eyes when you realize you are still loved unconditionally. If the world is scattering your attention, choose to refocus. If the voices around you are pulling you in all directions, come back to the one voice that holds the authority to define you, mine. Remember, you don't have to search for me in distant places. You don't need to make a pilgrimage to some sacred land. It is within you, in the quietest place, the simplest space where you cease striving. That is the sanctuary I have chosen to dwell in. Take time to listen to your breath, to feel your heartbeat, each beat a sign that you are alive, preserved, held. Let each breath become a prayer. Let every quiet moment become an intimate conversation with me. You do not need words. Just your presence, honest, humble, unhurried, is enough for me to move deeply within you. When you live from that inner stillness, you won't be shaken by the storm outside. When you know how to follow the guidance within, you won't lose yourself among countless voices. When you learn to walk in inner calm, you won't be swept up in the endless race that the world glorifies. And my child, when you begin to live this way, slowly, deeply, sincerely, you won't just find yourself again. You will become a bearer of light. You will be a lamp, not blinding but warm, not dazzling but clear, to guide others who are weary just as you once were. This world doesn't need more people running fast. It needs more people who know how to pause, to love, to listen, and to live from the deep places. Today I invite you not to do more, but to release. Not to understand more, but to become simpler. Not to prove anything, but to realize you were already loved before you did a single thing. You don't need to earn a place in my heart. You have had it from eternity. Return to the silence. Return to the voice of the Holy Spirit. Return to your true self. Not the fearful ego, but the gentle and powerful soul I created. There I will meet you. There I will lift you up. And there you will once again find the path of light. Not one shaped by the world, but one formed by my own hand. The path of peace, the path of blessing, the path of true life, guided by the divine. My beloved child, when you choose to pause and return to the stillness within your soul, you open the door wide for the light of heaven to flood in. In that moment, when you are no longer striving to control, no longer rushing to achieve, but simply present, you begin to feel a pure clarity flowing through you. A clarity not born of limited reasoning, but from the eternal wellspring I placed within you from the very beginning. in a world that is constantly loud and hurried. Many believe that understanding must be gained through books, through the teachings of others, through measurable facts and evidence. But I tell you this, the deepest understanding does not come from the outside, but is awakened from within. It is a sacred gift you have carried since your soul was but my first breath. It is not something you need to seek, but something you are called to remember. Do you know this? Intuition, that gentle voice, that subtle feeling like a whisper in your heart, is the path I use to lead you through darkness, through crossroads, into what is right, though unseen by mortal eyes. Intuition is not some vague or fanciful thing, as the world may say. It is divine guidance, the living presence of my spirit actively moving in your mind and heart. When you begin to trust that voice, you are courageously stepping out of the comfort zone built by logic, by habit, by fear of being wrong. You are rejecting the pattern of worldly living in order to follow the guidance from a higher place, a place where purpose, love, and truth are woven together by eternal hands. You do not need to ask others how to live, for within the deepest part of you, there already exists a lamp to light your path. When you learn to turn inward and listen with a humble heart, you will begin to clearly distinguish the voice of truth from the echoes of fear. There you will enter the land of unshakable peace, a joy too deep for words. Do you remember those moments when you did something so natural, not out of pressure, not to gain praise, but simply because it felt right? And in that instant, your heart lit up, became light, and overflowed with life. That is when you were aligned with your divine purpose. A purpose not identical for all, not something defined by titles or positions, but a way of being, a unique vibration, a soul's essence that only you carry. This purpose is not something you need to find, as though it is hidden somewhere far away. It is something you are called to return to, because it has always been within you. It was placed there by me, and it is protected by angels, those who quietly light the path, whisper in your dreams, and guide you through intuitions that may seem accidental. When you live in alignment with that purpose, everything begins to harmonize. Things that once confused you become clear. Decisions that once felt heavy become light. For you are no longer resisting the flow, you are moving with grace. And the most wondrous thing of all is this: when you live in alignment with your soul's true purpose, you don't just find peace, you discover a heavenly joy, a joy that doesn't come from outward achievements, but from the deep knowing that you are in the right place at the right time, resonating at the right frequency with the Creator. It is a profound feeling that makes your heart want to sing, that stirs gratitude without needing a reason, that turns every breath into an offering lifted to the heavens. You will no longer feel the need to strive to prove your worth, for you will know your value does not lie in what you do, but in who you are, the one I lovingly created. When you live authentically, truthfully, and from the heart, the world may not understand, but heaven will rejoice. And it is this that will bring your light to others, not through persuasion, but simply through your presence. Believe this: when you listen and walk in response to the call from within, you never walk alone. Angels are preparing the way, shielding you, and opening sacred opportunities meant just for you. The inner wisdom within you is a direct connection to the endless wellspring of grace. When you trust it, you don't merely walk in the light, you become the light. So, my beloved one, today I invite you to stop seeking outside yourself. Let go of the need to understand it all, to see it all, to control it all. Simply come home to your breath, to the stillness, to the tender heart within you that longs to be heard. And in that return, you will realize all that you have ever searched for was always there. Peace, guidance, meaning, and a love that never changes. Oh, my dearly beloved child, Now that your heart is slowly awakened to the gentle voice of the Holy Spirit, I call to you, not with thunder, not with pressure, but with the deep warmth of the divine realm. Step into the light. Be courageous, not because you meet the world's standards of readiness, but because I, the one who never leaves your side, walk with you each step of the way. The light I am inviting you into is not the spotlight of performance or outward brilliance. It is the light of truth, of healing, of returning to the most authentic essence of your soul. A light that does not blind to cover up pain, but one so gentle that it cradles every crack in you with boundless mercy. I know your heart carries many unspoken burdens. Days gone by have weighed heavily with layers of worry, memories that still echo with disappointment, unanswered questions, and moments where you blamed yourself for not being as strong as you thought you should be. You've held on for so long. You've masked your pain with smiles. You've endured in silence because you believed that's what you were supposed to do. But today, my child, I don't want you to carry these burdens any longer. I did not create you to live in endless exhaustion. The worries about tomorrow, the regrets of yesterday, none of these are part of the peace I have prepared for you. The burdens you bear may be seen by the world as duty, as obligation, but I see clearly. Some of these have become invisible chains, slowing your steps, clouding your vision, and draining your soul. So my beloved one, let go. Let me carry what you've held in silence for far too long. Offer me the things you cannot understand, the wounds you have yet to name, and the heaviness that still lingers in your heart. You don't have to be strong all the time. You don't need to prove your strength for me to love you. Even in your most fragile moments, I love you completely, and it is in that very weakness that I can work wonders. For my power is made perfect in your weakness. Imagine yourself removing one heavy backpack after another from your shoulders. Each time you let go of something, a breath of relief escapes, a tear is gently wiped away, and you take one more step toward true freedom. Let me carry what was never meant for you to bear. I never commanded you to carry the weight of life alone. On the contrary, I invite you into intimate communion, a place where you no longer need to do in order to be, but where you simply are, to be healed, to be renewed day by day. And as you release those burdens, as you dare to come forward with open hands, that's when I begin to restore your soul. I will place wholeness where things were once broken. I will breathe life into dreams that seemed long dead. I will refresh the parts of you that have withered through time and disappointment. Because I am not only the giver of blessings, I am the restorer, the rebuilder, the one who makes all things new. You will begin to see that once the fog of fear and heaviness lifts, your vision will become clear. The path that once seemed shrouded in mystery will begin to unfold, one step at a time. And with each step you take, my peace will walk with you. Not a peace that comes from smooth circumstances, but the kind that is rooted in the certainty that no matter what happens, I am holding your hand. You will begin to feel a new kind of strength, not one that comes from striving, but from surrender. A power that rises from the courage to let go. A faith that no longer demands to know all the details because you have entrusted your life to the one who sees everything clearly. And as you live in that trust, you will discover that faith is always stronger than doubt. So the metaphor and peace always has the final word. I am calling you forward, not with hurried steps, but with steady ones. Step into the new land I have prepared. A land where you no longer live as the wounded, but as the healed. A place where you no longer say I can't, but instead declare I can, because you are with me. A place where you don't just survive, but truly live. A life that is full, fresh, and meaningful. And my beloved, when you choose to step into that light, when you choose to believe that my presence is real, is enough, and is unshakable, then what you once thought were burdens will be revealed as foundations upon which I will unveil my wonders. Everything you've gone through, every pain, every fall, every silent cry in the night, I will gather them, reshape them, and turn them into living proof of my faithfulness. One day you will look back and see that all the things you once feared losing actually made way for something far more precious to enter. The tears you shed in secret became the rain that nourished the seeds of hope now springing to life. And your very journey of restoration will become a beacon for others. You will not only be healed, you will become a vessel of healing. You will not only receive peace, you will carry it into dry and weary places. After all that you've walked through, the long nights without light, the seasons of waiting that seemed endless, the prayers that felt unanswered, now I call you to rise in strength and steadiness. No longer the trembling soul you once were, but the one who has grown through every tear, every scar healed, every fall lifted by my own hands. You are no longer who you once were. You have been molded through the fire of trials, refined by time and forged in patience. And now, my child, this is the moment for you to rise, not with hesitation, but with courage built upon faith. For you are stepping into a new chapter, not because everything around you is ready, but because everything within you is. I want you to know this clearly. I never begin what I do not intend to complete. When I plant the seed of a dream in your heart, when I whisper a promise into your soul, it is never to leave you longing in vain. It is so I might write a glorious story through your life, and I, yes I, am the author of that story. No chapter is random. No line is wasted. Every detail carries purpose. Now a new door is beginning to open. You are drawing near to the fulfillment of the quietest prayers within your heart. Do not look back with regret. Do not look around in fear. Look up, my child, for your deliverance is drawing near, not with a thunderous roar, but with the steady presence of mine that is now saturating every corner of your life. Lift your head, for your day is breaking. It is the day when I turn mourning into joy, ashes into beauty, and sorrow into restoration. What I have spoken, I will not take back. What I have promised, I will fulfill. Do not let delay deceive you into thinking my word has lost its power. In my realm, time is never a barrier. Every passing moment is shaping the sacred tapestry I am weaving for your life. Even when all you see is darkness, even when you feel stranded in the wilderness, even then I am working, I am preparing, I am aligning all things into place perfectly and on time. My beloved child, do not fear when trials come knocking. Do not believe that the presence of hardship means the absence of me. On the contrary, it is within the very trials that you will most clearly feel my sustaining hand. It is in adversity that you will see how my love never leaves you, not even for a moment. And every time you overcome, it is not because you are so strong, but because I am so faithful. Every trial you walk through, I am turning into living proof of my presence. What once made you fall will become the platform upon which you now stand. The tears you once cried will become rivers of healing for others. You will not merely survive, you will live strong, and that strength will not come from this world, but from the sacred wellspring within you, the place where I have placed my spirit to dwell. You do not see the entire path ahead, but you know the one who leads. That is me. I do not deceive, I do not delay, I do not abandon. And if I have said that you will reach the destination, then you will. No matter how many times you pause, no matter how often you lose your way, as long as you hold on to faith, as long as you still whisper, "Yes, Lord," I will continue the work of restoration and fulfillment in your life. Do not be intimidated by the mountains. Do not be afraid of the sea. You may not see the way forward, but I am the way. You may feel weak, but I am your strength. You may not understand, but I am wisdom, and my wisdom never errs. It surpasses every human calculation, every plan you once laid out for yourself. So keep your faith unwavering, for what you are stepping into is not a coincidence. It is a divine design, etched by my very hand, the hand that placed the stars, that formed you, and that has lifted you time and again when you thought you were lost. Now, as you prepare to step into this new chapter, I want you to know that you are not alone. I go before you to prepare the way. I come behind to guard your steps. I stand beside you to remind you, and I dwell within you, so not a single moment must be spent in fear. Now that you've chosen to walk in the light of truth and courage, now that you have decided to trust my voice, even when the destination remains unclear, I want you to know this. Do not let fear hold you back any longer. For I, yes, I myself am here, not merely to watch you survive, but to lead you into a life of abundance, fullness, and far beyond anything you ever dared to dream. I am not the one who gives you just enough to get by. I am the one who provides beyond need, the one who opens the storehouses of heaven to meet every sigh of your soul, even the unspoken cries, the ones you dare not utter, yet I still hear. You were not made to simply endure. You were created to thrive, to be nurtured, to grow strong, and to walk in abundance, spiritually, emotionally, and in your daily life. What I have prepared for you is not a reduced, fragile existence, but a journey full of blessing. Not because you will never face hardship, but because in every hardship, I will be the one to carry you, to guide you, and to supply supernatural strength so you may overcome in glory. When the world sets limits, I will break them. When you think you've reached your limit, I will lift you beyond it. Because you are not defined by your circumstances. You are covered by power. My beloved, do not merely hope for enough to live. Hope for enough to give, enough to share, enough to inspire. For I give not just so you can keep, but so that you may become a vessel of blessing. And it is my love, steadfast, unchanging, and unconditional, that is the only foundation strong enough for you to build your life upon. All the things you once thought were stable, people, money, status, reputation, these may shift, but my love does not. It never retreats. It is your refuge, your safe haven, the ground where every dream may take root and grow. Build your life upon this truth. Let every decision flow from the deep knowing that you are unconditionally loved, divinely protected, and guided by the one whose wisdom never fails. When storms rise, that foundation will keep you standing. When your heart feels lost, my love will be the lamp to your feet, the flame that warms you in the cold night, the fresh spring in the midst of your desert. My child, in the trials you are facing, never forget, I have never left your side. Every step you've taken through the fire, I have walked beside you. Every sob you've swallowed in silence, I have heard clearly. Every time you thought you were about to collapse, I was standing closer than ever, not to rebuke, but to lift you up, not to demand, but to hold you near, not to ask, why are you so weak, but to remind you that you don't have to be strong alone. I am here to give you new strength. Do not fear when the path ahead is unclear. Do not shrink back when things don't go according to plan. I never asked you to understand every detail. What I ask of you is trust. Trust that even when you cannot see the road ahead, I am already there preparing the way. Trust that even when you don't understand why this is happening, I am writing a story with a radiant ending. My beloved child, what I am leading you into is not merely good by the narrow standards of the world. It is good in a heavenly sense. Good for your soul, good for your mission, good for your eternal growth. There are things you desire that I withhold, not because I reject you, but because I know that something better lies ahead. There are things you have lost, but I replace them with what no one can ever steal from your hands. My wisdom does not follow human patterns. It goes far beyond the limited understanding your mind can grasp. I see the entire forest when you can only see a single leaf. I know the whole picture when all you have is a fragmented piece. And because I am the one who sees ahead, you can rest in my guidance. You don't need to run ahead of me. You don't need to control the journey. All I ask is that you walk with me, step by step, in stillness, in faith, in unwavering trust, and you will see, even beyond what you could ever imagine, I will do exceedingly more than all you ask or think. Do not judge what I am doing based on fleeting emotions. Do not let a hard day make you forget the promises forged in eternal love. Remember this, in every season, in every circumstance, I do not change, and my love does not waver based on your success or failure. Believe that you are being led to a beautiful place, a land of fulfillment. Every step you take is preparing the way for something greater, and in the process, your soul is being shaped to receive, to steward, and to live in a manner worthy of that blessing. My child, I did not call you to walk the easy path, but the glorious one. You are not called to blend in, but to shine. You are not called merely to survive, but to live abundantly. You were not created to be a victim of circumstance, but a changer of circumstances, through faith, through light, and through the love I have placed within you. My beloved, keep listening with an open heart, for the words I whisper to you are the very light guiding your steps through the trials ahead. I want you to know this. In my kingdom, advancement does not come from standing on the shoulders of others, but from stooping low to lift up those who have fallen. I did not call you just to receive, but to become the outstretched hand I offer to the desperate, and in helping others to rise, you yourself rise to a higher level in the mission I have entrusted to you. Remember, miracles do not only occur in grand supernatural displays. They often hide within small acts of sincere love, a timely word of encouragement, a comforting hug, a look of compassion. These may be the lifeline for someone drowning in the sea of life. That person on your path is not there by accident. I place them there because I believe you carry something from me that they need. So do not hesitate to share your faith, your hope, and all that you have received from me with souls yearning for the light. My dear one, do not confuse waiting with delay. Sometimes, while longing for a miracle, you forget that you are the beginning of that miracle. I did not create you to sit idly while waiting for the heavens to move. I created you to be the catalyst for transformation. Rise up, O warrior of light. You have been refined through sorrow and hardship, and now is the time to use your healed wounds to bring healing to others. Do not let fear paralyze your actions, for I have not given you a spirit of fear, but a mind filled with power, love, and sound judgment. Step forward, even if you cannot yet see where the road will take you. Do not wait until everything feels perfect to begin. It is in that first act of obedience that the path will gradually unfold before your eyes. What I have prepared for you is not found behind the walls of safety and predictability, but ahead, where faith is your compass. When your vision is clouded, do not be disheartened. True faith is not dependent on clear signs, but on unwavering trust in the unseen. I know what lies before you, and I know exactly what you will need to walk through it. Every step you take in obedience is a quiet declaration of courage. Walk, not because you feel entirely prepared, but because I am walking beside you. The road may be uneven, the journey ahead lined with trials, but if your trust is placed in my hand, no adversity can bring you down. I go before you to clear the way, and I follow behind to protect you. I am the one who surrounds you from every side, your shield in battle, your shelter in the storm, your holy flame guiding you through the night. There will come moments when the ground beneath you seems to shake, when everything once familiar begins to feel unfamiliar, when things you once thought were strong crumble like sand castles in the tide. But in those very moments, do not let fear blind you to the truth. Your foundation is not rooted in the fleeting structures of this world, but is firmly established in the unshakable kingdom that is mine. Stand your ground, not by the strength of your own will, but by the power I have already breathed into your spirit. I have placed within you a fire that will not be extinguished, a spirit that does not yield. That is what will hold you firm in the fiercest of storms. You are a light set on high, not to be hidden away, but to shine boldly. Do not allow your circumstances to cause you to retreat inward. Be brave and live fully in the identity I have given you. Wherever you stand, my light is brought forth. And when you live out the fullness of the calling I have placed upon your life, you not only step into your own transformation, you also awaken and touch the hearts of those around you in ways far deeper than you realize. I know that you have stumbled, that you have wrestled with doubt, that you have fallen into the depths of despair. But let me remind you, there is no wound in your life that I cannot use to craft a masterpiece of redemption. There is no failure you've experienced that I cannot transform into wisdom and strength for others. None of what you've gone through is wasted. Every moment is being redefined in my light and becoming the sacred material through which I am shaping the resilient, radiant person you are destined to become. My beloved, do not wait for the pain to completely disappear before you take action. Let it be in the very midst of the ache that you stand and say, even though I do not understand, I still believe. Even though I have yet to see the outcome, I will keep walking forward. These declarations carry power in the realm of the Spirit. They shake the heavens and make the forces of darkness tremble. You are not as small or fragile as you think. In my eyes, you are a mighty warrior, purpose-driven and anointed to bring transformation to the world around you. So today I call you once again, rise. Do not merely survive, live. Do not only hope, act. Do not keep your faith hidden in your heart. Let it burn visibly in every step you take. Walk boldly, even if your feet are still unsteady. Speak words of life to others, even when you long for encouragement yourself. Give love freely, even if your heart is still aching to receive it, because it is in the giving that you will be made whole. You are the light in the night, the song echoing through the wilderness, the living testimony of my love. Continue this journey, not because you know every detail, but because you trust the one who called you. I, the one who chose you, am faithful, and I will never abandon the work I began with my own hands. Walk forward, my child, for a new season is awaiting you just ahead, one that is no longer marked by solitary waiting, but by the harvest of obedience, a season filled with things you never even dared to dream of. Every shaking you feel today is merely a warning bell that the door is opening, and I, with unshakable love, am smiling, waiting for you to step forward. My beloved one, pause now and listen deeply to the words I am whispering into your heart, words that only an awakened soul can truly perceive. The time has come for you to open your spiritual eyes more clearly than ever before. I am leading you to the divine appointment I ordained for you before the foundations of time. Every event, every turn, even the paths you once thought were dead ends, all have been under my sovereign care. Now is the moment for you to lift your head high and recognize your journey is entering a new phase, where all that I have promised will begin to unfold in my perfect timing. My dear child, I know your heart has wrestled with doubt. I have seen the moments when you were torn between trust and uncertainty, between hope and fear, between my calling and the noise of the world. But today, I speak to you with the full affection and authority of a loving father. It is time to lay down every doubt that has weighed upon your mind. It is time to release the old thoughts that have slowed your steps and to courageously embrace the faith I have already planted within you. This faith does not arise from fleeting emotions, but from a deep communion between you and me, the one who never changes. I do not condemn you for the doubts you've carried. I understand the fragility of human hearts, and I have been patient with each unsteady step you've taken on this spiritual journey. But just as a father longs for his child to learn trust, I yearn for you to understand this. Faith is not a passing feeling. It is a daily choice, a choice to believe what I have spoken, even when circumstances seem to say otherwise. You cannot step into the greater things I have prepared for you if your heart is still gripped by fear and your eyes clouded by the mist of doubt. Do not let doubt steal from you what I have already prepared. Do not let fear cause you to shrink back when the door of opportunity stands wide open before you. The enemy is always seeking to plant subtle lies in your mind, whispers that say you're not enough, that I've forgotten you, that you'll never reach what I've promised. But my child, awaken and recognize the truth. You are chosen, you are loved, you are guided, and you are equipped to fulfill every wondrous plan I have written for your life. Look back at those moments when the path did not unfold the way you had hoped. You once thought I was silent. You concluded I had abandoned you. But no, my beloved, not even for a single second have I ever left you. I have seen it all, I have known it all, and I have always been waiting. It wasn't that I didn't hear you. It's that you acted too quickly before hearing me. You let emotion and haste lead the way, instead of waiting for my wise guidance. I do not rebuke you for those imperfect choices, but I am inviting you to grow from those lessons. Let the failures of your past no longer weigh you down, but become the very steps that lead you closer to me. You are not defined by how many times you've fallen, but by how you rise again and again, repenting, trusting me more deeply, and walking forward with renewed strength. Now I am making a way for you, a path not merely leading to success by human standards, but to divine fulfillment. A place where you walk fully in your calling, in unity with my will, where you become a powerful vessel in my hands to bring forth wonders on earth. Yet, to walk this path, you must learn to obey on a deeper level. Obedience is not merely an act, it is a spiritual posture, a complete surrender, a trust that holds firm even when the way ahead is unseen. I am calling you back to the deepest place of communion with me, where my voice becomes clearer than all the noise of the world, where my presence becomes more precious than anything else. You will no longer rush to seek solutions from man or from yourself, but you will learn to wait for me, not in passivity, but in holy expectancy. Do not measure the fruit of your life by what you can see or hear. You are being shaped for things beyond your imagination. Every trial, every delay, every closed door is forming you into a bearer of holy fire, one who can stand firm in darkness and shine like an unquenchable flame. So, my beloved child, place your trust in me anew today. Give me every worry, every unfinished plan, every hidden longing within your heart. Do not move according to old patterns. Let me teach you how to walk again, with feet guided by my light, with a heart that listens for my voice, and with hands ready to receive the new things I am preparing to pour out. I am reigniting the flame within you, the flame of faith, of strength, of unshakable courage. I am inviting you into a new season, a time when my guidance will become as clear as the morning light. Doors that once slammed shut will open wide. Questions that once remained unanswered will begin to unfold, and dreams that seemed to have withered will be revived with the breath of new life from me. But you must begin now with a decisive choice. to believe, to wait, to walk in obedience. Do not carry the old baggage of doubt. Do not allow the voices of the past to pull you back. Let me take your hand and write with you the next chapter, a chapter of glory, of healing, of breakthrough far beyond your imagining. And as you walk forward in such steadfastness, you will see it is in humble obedience that you are drawn deeper into the current of the divine destiny I have prepared for you. It will not be an easy road, but it is a road of eternal meaning, and on that path you will never walk alone, for I will always go before you, walk beside you, and keep you until the day of completion. Now offer to me your sincere prayer. Lord, I step into this moment with a bare and honest heart. I lay down all my striving, all my self-effort that has left my soul weary. I do not need to see the whole path ahead. I only need to know that you are holding my hand. I surrender every plan of my life at your feet, that your will, not mine, may be fulfilled. Though my eyes have not yet seen, my heart chooses to believe. Though the world around me trembles, I know I stand firm on the solid rock of your word. Please lead me with your light, step by step, breath by breath. Lord, the one who has never abandoned me for even a single moment, today I ask for nothing but the opportunity to offer my gratitude. I thank you for the seasons of waiting, for the nights of tears, and even for the times when it seemed like you were silent, because now I understand you were working quietly, but powerfully. Thank you for not letting a single tear of mine be wasted. Thank you for the miracle that is coming, not only to change my circumstances, but to transform me from the inside out. I offer this thanksgiving not just for what you do, but for who you are. Lord, there have been moments when my heart grew weary, when my mind was troubled by prolonged delays, but today I come before you not to demand, but to learn how to wait and trust. Please grant me feet that do not grow tired and spiritual eyes that see the divine movement unfolding behind the veil. Help me to live each day of waiting with joy, with gratitude, and with unshakable hope that you are bringing all things to completion in your perfect time. Lord, I lay before you the broken pieces of my life, the wounds I never dared to name. I no longer want to hide my pain, no longer want to pretend to be strong on my own. Please touch the deepest places in my soul, the places once shattered, the places still weary, and fill them with new life from you. Refresh my spirit like the first rains falling on parched fields. Rebuild me not just whole, but stronger than before, so that I may live, love, and serve in the fullest way possible. Lord, I hear your call to step into a new chapter. And honestly, sometimes I am still afraid of the unknown, afraid of what I cannot yet see. But today I choose to walk by faith, not because I am strong enough, but because you have promised to go with me. Grant me courage from heaven, not a boldness stirred by emotion, but a bravery born from the certainty that you walk ahead of me, whether on plains or mountains, in radiant light or shadowed darkness. I choose to walk with you, because where you are, there is peace. My beloved, as you stand on the threshold of all I have spoken into your heart, remember, this divine appointment is not a one-time miracle, but the beginning of an eternal story we will write together. Every breath you take, every step you choose in faith, becomes part of a grand tapestry woven by my love. Do not let this moment slip away into mere memory. Let it ignite a lifetime of transformation. So here's what I invite you to do next. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next whisper of heaven bringing fresh breakthrough. Comment Amen below, declaring with your own voice the promise you're stepping into. Share this message with a friend who needs to know they are never forgotten, never forsaken. Return often to this channel, for here my spirit moves in every word. Together we will watch doors tremble open, walls collapse, and blessings pour out beyond anything you could imagine. Until next time, my child, keep your heart open, your faith unwavering, and your eyes fixed on the one who makes all things new. Amen.